Welcome back, students. Let us move to the second problem in drawing number 7. We did the first problem on SP2, simple position 2. Even this problem is also on simple position 2. Let me read out the problem for you. The problem number as per CMRT question bank is 2.3.5. As per video question bank it is 42 and it is in drawing number 7. A hexagonal lamina of sides 25 mm. It's a hexagonal lamina, its side is given 25. It is resting with one of its corners on HP. So one condition is given related to SP2. Okay, it is resting with a corner on HP, directly it is given. Then let us see whether the second condition is also there. What is the second condition for you to adopt SP2? The surface should be inclined to HP. If both are there, then you are sure you have to adopt SP2. The lamina makes 45 degrees with HP. Straight away it is given. That means the surface is inclined to HP at 45. So both the conditions that are required for you to adopt SP2 are there in first two sentences only. So it is a straightforward problem. Okay. And HP condition is this itself. The surface is inclined to HP at 45 degrees is the HP condition. Now you are left only with VP condition. Okay, what is that? Let us see. And the diagonal passing through the corner on which the lamina is resting appears to be inclined at 30 degrees to VP. That is the VP condition. There is a corner on which you are resting the lamina on HP and there will be a diagonal passing through that corner. Your VP condition is given with reference to that diagonal. Okay. Now instead of telling it now, after doing the first two steps, then I will explain this condition. What is that VP condition with reference to the figure that you have. So right now it is SP2 that I have to start with. So I know that I have to start by drawing the top view first. I also know that I have to keep a corner on the right side. Corner of the hexagon on the right side. Okay. So let me do that now. It is a hexagon. Let me show the two steps also in 3D for you. This is a hexagon. Okay. These are its corners. This is a corner. This is also a corner. So you must keep it on HP in such a way that this corner comes on the right and left. Okay. One corner on the right, one corner on the left. Okay. So how do I place it on HP? This is how I have to place it on HP. This is the corner that is coming on the right side. This is the corner coming on the left side. So when you draw the hexagon in the top view it appears to be a regular hexagon. Draw the hexagon in such a way that you get the corners on the right and left. Instead of doing that, if you draw the hexagon with the edges, an edge on the right and edge on the left, the problem is gone. This is simple position 1. If you take this position with two edges on the right and left, that is simple position 1. Now you have to take corners. This one, this corner and this corner. That is how you should place it on HP. So the first step, you get a hexagon in the top view. The front view is a line. And because you are keeping the surface on HP, the line appears to be on XY line. What do you do when you go to next step? You will rotate this lamina about this corner. You are rotating the lamina about this corner to an angle of 45 degrees to HP. The lamina makes 45 degrees with HP. So this will be rotated. The front view still appears to be a line and the top view is no more a hexagon. The top view is no more a hexagon. All the edges will appear in their apparent length in the top view. Okay, so this is what is happening in 3D. What happens in 2D? Let me show to you. Okay. So I am starting with the hexagon of 25 mm edge and I have to get corner on the right side. So this is the hexagon. Now I'll start naming from this this side, I'll call this as A, and you have to dimension the edge, preferably the horizontal edge. Okay. Naming you can do in any way you like. You can start from here, you can start from here, anywhere. But this is an important corner, whatever you have on the right side. Because when you move to next steps, the lamina is going to rest on that corner. It is resting just with a corner on HP. Okay. Now let me draw the top view and show to you. As I have already mentioned, the top view appears to be a line. Okay. If I draw a projector from C, it goes through E. Similarly, the projector from B will go through F. That's why I didn't show them. This is the front view. It is a line. Okay. So this is the reason why the XY line is drawn light. If you make it dark, you will not be able to view this. That's why normally we make XY a light line, so that this line appears on XY. Now when you look from here, this is the position of the observer in first angle projection. C and B are visible. A and D also are visible to the observer. E and F will not be visible when you are looking from here. Okay. C and E are in the same line to the observer, so the observer will be able to view only C. Similarly, only B will be visible. So when you are naming the points here, take care that E and F are in brackets. C dash, E dash, B dash, F dash, and then A dash. That completes the first step, which is SP2. Now when I move to next step, what is the condition I satisfy? HPC. And what is HPC? The lamina makes 45 degrees with HP. So when you move to next step, there are two conditions to be satisfied. One is that this corner A should be on XY. The second is that this line should be made inclined at 45 to XY. So I will rotate the lamina like this, in this direction, and draw the line inclined at 45 degrees. Here one point I would like to mention, if you refer to VTU question bank, there also all the problems are solved. There, this is how it is done there. There is slight difference between this and what is done in VTU question bank. Instead of taking the corner on the right side, in the VTU primer, it is taken on the left side. You can take in any way. But when you are rotating, you have to be careful. So if you are concentrating on the corner D here, then you will have to rotate the lamina in this direction. So that D will be on HP and the surface will be inclined to HP. Okay. If I show it here, these are the two corners. This is one corner, this is one corner. I am taking the right corner on HP and I am rotating the surface like this, about this corner. If you want, you can rotate in this way also, like this we have to rotate. So that the surface makes 45 to HP. Both are accepted. Okay. So don't get confused if you look into the VTU primer. Sir has taught in some way and what is this? This is done in another way. Both are accepted. Okay. So we are rotating it in clockwise sense. So how do we do the second step? We will start with A dash on XY. Okay. Draw a line inclined at 45 degrees. You can put your protractor here. Draw a line inclined at 45 degrees and then go on marking these points on that line. Okay. With the same distances. All the three distances you can take with compass. Don't measure with scale. It could be some fraction. Okay. Don't measure with scale. Can you tell me what will be the length of this line? The edge is 25. What will be the length of this line? The length of that line will be 50 because it is nothing but the diameter of the circle. When you do manually, when you draw the hexagon manually, you start by drawing a circle first, and this is nothing but the diameter of the circle. Okay, so it will be twice the radius of the circle will be 25. In other words, the diameter is 50. That means this length is also 50. Okay, but these will be some fractions, so please transfer the distances here using compass. Don't use scale. Let me draw the line inclined at 45. This is inclined at 45. Okay. After A dash, B dash, F dash, and then C dash, E dash, finally D dash. So whatever length you have for this line, this also should have the same length. Done. So that is how the front view appears. Now let us see how the top view appears in the second step. Draw the projectors from 4 points. In fact, there are 6 points, but 2 points are common here. Even for here also you have 2 points common, so you will get a single projector for them. Draw the locus lines from here. All these lines will be drawn light, thin, manually when you are drawing also. Okay, so the projectors and the locus lines should be drawn light. Only the top view and front view should appear dark here. Make sure that it is practiced. So let us name the corners now. This is A, B, C, D, E and F. Connect all of them using straight lines. As I already said, all the edges will be in their apparent length now. It's no more a hexagon, it's no more a regular hexagon. Okay? All the edges will be in their apparent lengths because you made the surface inclined. Yes. Now moving to the third step. In the last problem, we found beta, apparent angle. Is it required to find beta here, or simply I can rotate it? Let us see. This is very important. Okay. So if you want to, decide whether to find beta or not, you must check for the length of the edge and also the angle given. The VP condition is given with reference to this diagonal here. What is it given? The diagonal passing through the corner on which the lamina rests. A is the corner on which the lamina is resting. And which is the diagonal passing through A? AD. Check for its length. Is it in its true length or apparent length? Tell me, is AD in its true length or apparent length? Is this AD equal to this AD? It's not equal. This is apparent. Okay, because you made the line inclined here, this gets reduced in length. So AD is in its apparent length. That is found. Now check whether the given angle is true angle or apparent angle. What is it mentioned? It appears to be inclined at 30 degrees. When you find the word appears, it means that it is apparent. When you find the word appears, that means that angle is apparent. So the length is apparent, the angle is also apparent, then no need to find beta. Straight away you can rotate. Similarly, when the length is true length and when the angle given is true, then also there is no requirement of finding beta. Finding beta arises only when you have an apparent length here and when you are given true angle. When you have an apparent length here and when you are given a true angle, then you have to find beta. Instead of giving appears to be inclined, it is just mentioned, let us say, on which it rests, is inclined at 30 degrees to VP. If you don't have appears, let us say. let us say that word appears is not there, then it becomes a true angle. You have to find beta in that case. Okay. So when it is not required to find beta, it becomes simple for you because straight away you are rotating it and keeping it here. Okay, it becomes easy and the time consumption also will be less. Okay, so what should I do satisfying VP condition? I can rotate it like this and see that this line AD is inclined at 30 degrees to XY. Either you can rotate it counterclockwise like this or you can rotate clockwise also. Both ways are accepted. The condition is that this line should be drawn inclined at 30 degrees to XY. Whether you draw it like this or you draw it like this, both are accepted. Both ways you can do. I am rotating it counterclockwise so that the inclination comes like this. It's inclined at 30. So I start by drawing a line inclined at 30 degrees to XY line. Measure this length. I don't know what is this length. This is no more 50. This is 50. The true length of AD is 50. This will be reduced. This will be less than 50. So I take this with compass and just transfer it here. And when you are placing this on this line, make sure that once this is constructed there, none of the corners or edges touches XY. You have to make sure of that. Okay. Any corner, this E and F, corner or edge, shouldn't go and touch XY, or it shouldn't interfere with XY. So take some gap while placing AD on XY, on this edge. This AD. Okay, I'll place it somewhere here. A. This length. There are totally 6 points. Right now I have only 2. Right now you have only 2. So how to get the remaining points? Construction. You have to do construction. Okay. Let us get point F first. One way of getting point F is, we have 2 points A and D, just get F by drawing arcs. Just like a triangle. This is imagine that ADF is a triangle. You have A and D with you. You want to get the point F. So A to F, take the radius, draw an arc. D to F, cut that arc. You get point F. Okay. That is one way of doing it. Are you following? Okay. You have 2 points with you, A and D. If you want to get F, just use your compass. Use the radii AF and DF. Get the point F. The other way of doing it is, take this length, draw this line. This line is perpendicular to AD. So I draw a line perpendicular to AD. Now I take AF as radius, A as center, I cut it. Get F. So either you can draw a line and then one arc, or you can draw 2 arcs and get F. Similarly, E, D to this, I take this distance, it will be same as whatever you have on the right side. Then I draw a perpendicular. DE, DE and AF will be same. Cut it. So, half of it you got. Similarly, the bottom half also you can get. C and B. This is the one that takes a little time, construction, doing the construction. Okay. But make sure these are all construction lines. This is a construction line, this is a construction line, this is a construction line, all should be light. I want only the outer portion A, B, C, D, E, F to be shown dark. Take care of that. I don't want you to make these edges dark. It appears awkward. Okay. Only the top view should appear dark. Make sure that this E and F doesn't touch XY. How do you make sure of that? If you take AD too close to XY somewhere here, after the construction there is a possibility that the top view intersects XY. The top view may go beyond XY. That shouldn't happen. Okay. So basically, when you are planning your space, so don't waste the space. When you are starting this, start from the extreme left on your page. You are keeping it landscape. Make sure that you don't waste any space here, because it is the third step that occupies the maximum space. Okay? You should leave more maximum space for the third step, even in the exam. Even in the exam, you have not planned your space properly. You have started it somewhere here, you have done the second step here. Then by the time you go to third step, you have realized that there is no enough space. Then you will have to erase both the steps and redo it again. You will be losing time there. Okay? So planning is very, very important, especially in projection of planes and solids. Planning your space is very important. Always, conserve more space for the third step. Done. So I got the top view. Let me project and get the front view. This won't take much time. Okay. So let us start with point A. What is the locus of point A? XY line itself is the locus. A dash. Then B and F. No, I think something. Okay. Then C and E. And finally D. Connect them, it comes to be quite narrow. That's how the final front view appears. Okay, because I have drawn it freehand, it has not come properly. But when you draw to dimension, when you draw to scale, and when you take the angles perfectly, okay, you may get a better shape. I didn't get it properly here, but that is how it appears. Okay. So in the last step, all the three conditions what are given are satisfied. What are all the three conditions? The first condition is the lamina should be resting with A1 HP. Done. The second condition is the surface is inclined to HP at 45. How did you ensure that it is inclined at 45 to HP here? By drawing this there. When it is inclined at 45 to HP, this is how it appears in the top view. So I made sure that the same is drawn here. That's how you ensure that the surface is inclined at 45 degrees even in the third step. That is HPC. What is VPC? The diagonal AD is inclined at 30 degrees to VP. That you have done. So all the three steps or all the three conditions given in the problem are there in the last step. Okay, so that's it, students, about this problem. There is another problem in drawing number 7 that I will take up now.